most likely team in the conference to make the playoffs. That's what it says.
Yeah.
And that's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. So last year, Brew, who was the shock team that made the playoffs? Washington was the shock team that made the playoffs.
Yeah, they got Jaden Daniels.
Exactly.
So who did they get that's the equivalent of Jaden Daniels?
The Broncos the year before won 8 games.
Yeah. Who the Raiders get that's the equivalent of Jaden Daniels?
Washington added a new coach and a new quarterback and shocked everyone who made the playoffs. The year before, the team that I think surprised, maybe not shocked people, made the playoffs, Green Bay, first year with Jordan Love after missing with Aaron Rodgers. What'd they do? A new quarterback. The year before that, the team nobody expected, the New York Giants, they added a new coach, and the Seattle Seahawks, who added a new quarterback, who, by the way, was Geno Smith. And the year before that, it was Philly, who added a new coach and quarterback in 2021, and Jalen and Sirianni.
Okay.
Yeah, and so point is, the team that is a true dark horse or sleeper, the recipe usually is you have to have changed your coach or your quarterback. This team changed both. And do I think that Geno is a massive upgrade over Aiden O'Connell?
Oh, yeah.
And do I think Pete Carroll is a massive upgrade over Antonio Pierce? Absolutely. So, listen, I think the Raiders need one more receiver, but Bowers is great. Ashton Genty is going to be great. Geno is going to be the best quarterback they've had since Rich Gannon.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
On the worst odds, the Jets also got a new coach and quarterback. The Titans got a new quarterback. The Colts got a new quarterback.
One of them got both. Only one of them
the
got
Browns
both.
got a new quarterback. Like, they all got new quarterbacks.
I understand, but they didn't.
Besides
All of
the
them got
Dolphins.
both except for one, right?
But that wasn't your little history
No,
of
I'm
teams.
saying that
Surprise teams wasn't both.
Which of those teams got both, Wilds? I'm just curious.
The Jets.
The Jets are the only one. Yes, and I don't think
The Jets and the
right,
Raiders.
and the Jets. There is an argument some would make they got worse. Some people think Rodgers is better than Justin Fields.
Maybe.
I
think arguing the Jets might be sneaky good.
No, I'm saying that some people think
as
the
sleepers
Jets
go.
quarterback got worse. Some people. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
the
we
Steelers
do.
Yeah.
The Steelers.
First of
do.
all, what is Pete Carroll talking about? Because his last 2 years in Seattle, he won 9 games.
Okay. That's
3 years ago, he won 7 games.
and before that.
Oh, yeah, nice little run with Russell Wilson, but he was like, the last 20 years, I'm
I wake out
right
of
in
bed
it.
and win.
Right,
I walk
it's
down the street and win
he's
10
His
games.
first 6 years as a head coach in the NFL, 5 of them he didn't win 10
That
games.
was more than 20 years ago.
And 3 of them he
He's
had
talking about the
losing. I'm just
Patriots.
saying,
He was
we
good. He
acting like he
stabilized
about
the
to step
franchise.
in there and automatically it's 10 wins. Secondly, they have, at best, the 3rd best quarterback in the division. Decent chance they got the worst quarterback in the division.
So can I ask
He's not better than Justin Herbert, obviously Mahomes. And let's see him and Bo Nix go at it this year.
I'm very confused. I'm just curious. Geno's not in that fluid 5 to 15? He's not?
Geno's numbers are pretty good.
Right, but it's fluid,
he's
right?
Solid.
And Herbert's
he's not better than Herbert. I'm telling you, he's not better than. And you believe me too. You agree with that?
I do agree with it because I actually rank quarterbacks. You have them all in this fluid group, and so what I'm saying is
that doesn't mean 15's jumping to 5.
Right, but Herbert.
It means 11 could jump to 7.
But you
or
have
something
Herbert
like that.
outside of the top 10 and inside the top 15. Same with Geno. So
No.
What?
Herbert is better than Geno.
So that part's not fluid.
All right, that's not
But
fluid.
Brew, for that, we did the Caleb graphic on 4,000 yards, 70% completion percentage, and Geno was one of the guys last year.
Yeah.
Putting up like great numbers.
Geno.
But you know what's interesting about that, though, because you put up that graphic, and yet Nick said that that's actually not good. That was his whole thing, that it's actually, not good, and that typically a lot of great quarterbacks don't do that. That was his argument as to why it was bad that Caleb Williams should try to pursue that. But listen, I think it's very much the Raiders are not getting enough respect. Look at this. Let's look at this. I think. Okay, so the worst AFC playoff odds. Okay, this order to me is pretty fascinating. Obviously, you're going to be ahead of the Browns, ahead of the Jets, ahead of the Titans. The Dolphins' I-Tua is actually really good. I'm not telling you that I think 2 is this elite special quarterback, but he's had a tremendous amount of success, and when he's actually playing and upright, which is a question mark, of course, unfortunately for him. They do win some games. But it's hard to have like true confidence in them. The Colts, they're seemingly going to be playing a quarterback game. It's like, who's the quarterback? Are we going to waste a couple games putting this quarterback out and then we're going to have to switch another quarterback? When you don't have clarity at the quarterback position, there's the real chance that you're going to drop a handful of games because like you keep trying to make different choices and different changes, like we saw with the Pittsburgh Steelers last year. The Jags. I do think the Jags and the Patriots, for that matter, are going to take significant steps forward. But the reality is like, if I think that the Patriots and the Jags, essentially have top odds to turn it around, right? Because these are all teams that obviously have been very bad. To kind of flip the script, if we're going to put the teams in categories, I'm putting the Raiders, Patriots, and the Jags all in the same tier, all in the same group of being able to flip it. Because I believe what Rail is going to be doing with Drake May and what that team's going to look like now. The upgrade on defense, I think the quarterback position is also going to be upgraded just by virtue of better coaching now and whatnot, and adding some pieces around him like Diggs. I think the Jags adding Liam Cohen. I really think actually Trevor Lawrence is going to be significantly better than what we've seen for years. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Trevor Lawrence's best year. But my main question mark about the Jags is, and I share this in the comment section, is that it's hard for me to evaluate how great that roster is because that team has been really such a mess. And Trevor Lawrence kept getting injured. And so it's just kind of like it's just hard for me to evaluate certain pieces. Now, even though the Raiders have been a mess, they're bringing in a quarterback and two coaches that I feel as though really are established and have proven what they're capable of doing. So I don't really have to guess. There's no guesswork. You still have to guess with Drake May. You still have to guess with Liam Cohen as a head coach with Trevor Lawrence. And you still have to guess with Trevor Lawrence. For the most part, I don't really have to guess who Geno Smith is going to be, who Pete Carroll is going to be, and who Chip Kelly is even going to be. And I know technically you have to guess about an Ashton Genty. Well, for me, I don't see it as a guess. Okay? I'm just pretty confident that he's going to translate into the NFL. And I know that defense is actually better than what even meets the eye, because I think it's always hard for defenses to consistently be great when your team and your offense is such a mess, because defense is such an effort-based side of the ball that when you just don't really feel like you're playing for much, when there's just not a lot at stake, it's just hard to bring what you need to bring defensively. And you'll run out of steam. And now you're not to mention you're bringing in a great defensive head coach. So I don't need to guess that defense now is going to be significantly better, more organized and better situationally. Just like I don't have to guess that the Patriots defense will be better with Fable. Just like I don't have to guess overall that the offense will be better with Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen. But I still do have to guess how much better will it be. I don't really need to guess how much better it be with the Raiders because, like I said, it's something that I've seen again and again and again. And so I think it's just clear that the Raiders, it's hard to say that they're not getting. I mean, I guess it's fair. I mean, it's tough. The Dolphins were competing for the 2 seed. I think it was in 23. Then 24, they had all their injuries, especially obviously to Tua. But when Tua was playing, he actually put up pretty decent. I mean, he actually put up like top 10 numbers, especially when you're looking at it on like a per game basis, because obviously he didn't play the full season. To me, like having the Colts ahead of the Raiders is probably the most, like, this is not respectful. Because I'm a huge believer in Shane Steichen, and I'm fascinated to see what a Daniel Jones can do. And I think the Colts also have a pretty good roster as well. So if that hits, then they can absolutely win some games and be a threat. But like, there's still too many questions. There's still too many what ifs where it's like, if I have to rank it in some sort of order, I just in good faith can't put the closest I can do is put the Colts in that category with the Raiders to be like, okay, you know, like this is my bucket of teams right here. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a tough sell, honestly. It really is. I'm trying to think of anything else honestly stands out there. And I really don't get the whole calling out of Pete Carroll. I mean, he led a team to back-to-back Super Bowls, won the Super Bowl. I mean, he was a huge contributing factor as to why Geno Smith even had a career late into his career. I don't get the downplaying of the impact of what Pete Carroll can bring, and also the message and the intensity that Pete Carroll is trying to bring. Like when you don't, I always talk about this, like especially when you're saying things out loud. Like sometimes you say things for the locker room, sometimes you say things publicly. And to me, I have pretty specific rules of how I like when things are said and when they're not said and when they're said, you know, inside versus outside. But you definitely get significantly more free range when you're recreating a culture, which is what Pete Carroll is doing. If he was still the coach of the Seahawks and he said something like, "We're going to win a bunch," I don't care who hears that. I would be like, why are you saying that? You know, it's like I wouldn't like that. But he has to reestablish what's new with the Las Vegas Raiders. He is literally trying to recreate a culture from the ground up in a newish town for, you know, for this franchise, new quarterback, new coaching staff, right? Like new PE, like new people in positions of power, like Brady and whatnot. Like you really are, by definition, truly hitting the reset button. So like I'm okay of him bringing that out there. So to like kind of knock it, like it's different, you know, if Shanahan was saying, or McVay, or, you know, coaches who have been with their team now for years, and there's just a little bit more, you know, the culture is already there, right? Like that message, say in the locker room, say when there's no cameras around, it's just you and your team. I'm 100% for that. Not necessarily for it publicly, but when Pete Carroll is saying it, you have to put it in context of how he's saying it, why he's saying it, where he's saying it, when he's saying it. And he's trying to really signal to everyone who's listening and who actually needs to hear it, right? Not the Chiefs and not the Broncos. Like he's saying it for the Raiders. He's saying it for Raider Nation. He's saying it for the players, for the coaches, for you know, ownership. You know, that's what it's for, you know. And it's just trying to like reaffirm things are new. I don't care what happened over the last decade. I don't care what happened last year. I don't care what happened 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I don't care what happened 20 years ago. We are becoming a franchise, a city, a team of excellence. That is what we do. You have to buy into, because also Pete Carroll, unfortunately, and this is just the way it works, like he has to resell his message. He has to get this team to buy in, the coaching staff to buy in, and that's part of this process. That's part of this process. So I don't think we have to knock him for doing that. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me, and I appreciate it. And honestly, the way in which he does it, even the style in which he does it, it's not even coming from a place of like conceit or anything. Like it's actually almost kind of just like, I don't know. It's actually more coming from a place of like inspiring, of just like, listen, if you just listen to me, I can get you where you need to go, right? He's not saying we're going to put the whole league on notice and look out this. Like it's not what he's necessarily saying. He's just like, things are changing. Okay? And if everyone buys in, you're not going to be disappointed. Sometimes that's the message that needs to be expressed loud and clear. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Las Vegas Raiders not getting enough respect? What do you think about their playoff odds to reach the playoffs, as well as what Pete Carroll is saying? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.